Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a huge change happening in the digital world, why the age of the massive celebrity endorsement is on the decline, and what's rising up to take its place. So let me kick things off with a question for you. Just think about it for a second. When you're about to buy something, who do you really trust for advice? Is it the A-list celebrity you see in a glossy ad, or is it someone who genuinely lives and breathes that specific field? This isn't just a casual question, you know. It's at the very heart of how marketing is being completely rewritten right now. And the data for 2026? Well, it's not even close. The numbers you're looking at here are pretty wild. Smaller, niche creators are getting more than 4 times the engagement of huge, big-name celebrities. So what in the world is going on? In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why this is happening and what it means for building a brand, whether that's your personal brand or your company's.
Okay, let's get right into it. We'll start with this fascinating problem that people in the industry are calling the celebrity paradox.
So here's the paradox in a nutshell. The bigger you get, the further away you seem to feel. Yes, celebrities have massive reach. We're talking millions and millions of eyeballs. But here's the catch. For today's audiences, who are dealing with some serious celebrity fatigue, that reach just doesn't connect anymore. There's this growing gap between being seen and actually being heard.
And this quote just nails it, right? It all comes down to how we perceive it. One feels like a business deal, the other feels like a genuine tip from a friend. This creates what the experts are calling a skepticism gap. We've all got this built-in detector for when something feels like a paid ad versus an honest opinion.
So if that's the problem, what's the solution? Well, it takes us to an idea that's not exactly new, but has become unbelievably powerful in our digital world. The whole concept of an authentic personal brand.
You know, the idea of personal branding has actually been floating around for a while. A management guru named Tom Peters was writing about this way back in 1997. But let's be real. The internet, and especially social media, has completely changed the game, transforming what it means and how you actually do it. And I think this diagram visualizes the modern personal brand perfectly. Think of it like a bridge. On one side, you have your internal identity. That's who you really are, your values, your goals. On the other side, you have your external image. That's how the world actually sees you. The digital world is the space where those two things meet, and your personal brand is what gets built right in the middle of that bridge.
So we get the what, but how does this trust actually get built online? It's definitely not magic, I can tell you that. It's a very deliberate process.
Building trust means you have to juggle this entire mix. It's kind of like a 3-part puzzle. It starts with your self-representation, the stuff you choose to create and post. But then that gets filtered through platform algorithms, which decide who even gets to see it. And finally, it lands with your audience, and their perception is what ultimately becomes your brand's reality. You've got to manage all 3 to win.
And this is where it gets super practical. These are the levers you can actually pull. You've got your visual stuff, the look and feel that makes you recognizable. Then there's the verbal, the words you use to show what you know and what you stand for. And finally, and this one is crucial, is the behavioral part, how you actually engage and interact. That's what proves you're the real deal. They all have to work together.
At the end of the day, authenticity is the glue that holds all of this together. It really boils down to these 3 keys: being consistent with your message, being transparent and open to conversation, and being sincere, not trying to be someone you're not. Any little crack in that consistency is what shatters that fragile audience trust.
So we know how the trust is built. But now let's look at the cold, hard data that proves why this new model of niche trust is just completely dominating the old model of mass reach.
Okay, from a corporate angle, this is just overwhelming. Look at this. People are 92% more likely to trust a company when its leaders are active and authentic online. A faceless logo feels cold, but a real person with a real brand feels accessible and trustworthy.
And on the flip side, from our perspective as consumers, this number is just as powerful. A massive 78% of people bought something in the last 6 months because a micro-influencer recommended it. That is direct, measurable economic impact, driven purely by trust. So, what's the psychology behind all this? It's actually explained perfectly by a classic communication idea called source credibility theory. It basically breaks down why we trust someone into 3 key ingredients: how attractive they are, how much of an expert they are, and just how trustworthy they seem. Now, when you put a micro-influencer and a celebrity endorser head-to-head using those ideas, well, it's not even a fair fight. Influencers win hands down on authenticity, on similarity, that feeling that they're just like us, and on interactivity. Celebrities might have the attractiveness part down, but they fall short on the very things that build real, lasting trust.
All right, let's bring this all home. What does this all mean for you, for your career, for your business? The single biggest takeaway is this: your personal brand isn't just your social media profile anymore, it is a core strategic asset.
A strong, authentic, personal brand has this incredible ripple effect across every single part of a business. It builds reputation, it fuels marketing, it helps you hire great people, and yes, it absolutely impacts the bottom line. I mean, we've all seen how a single tweet from someone like Elon Musk can literally move the stock market. That's the power of a personal brand in action.
And to really put a fine point on it, this quote from the research just says it all. Your individual brand builds what they call trust capital. It's no longer just about you. That trust you build becomes the very fuel that powers the entire organization.
So, it all comes down to this. We have to think not just about what we're posting, but why we're posting it. Your digital presence is, without a doubt, one of your most important professional assets today. Which leaves us with one last big question to think about. Are you actually treating it like one?